Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're diving into a seriously fascinating breakdown of the whole human experience. You see, life is constantly throwing these two ultimate tests at us, and they are designed to reveal exactly who we are at our core. Now, normally when we think of life's tests, our minds immediately go straight to the hard stuff, right? The pain, the loss, the stress. But as our source material so beautifully points out, the test of prosperity, of wealth and having everything, can actually be an even steeper mountain to climb. So we're going to unpack how both ends of the spectrum, having absolutely everything and having absolutely nothing, challenge our hearts in completely different ways. Let's get into it.
We're starting off with this really profound observation from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. It hits on this inescapable vulnerability that we all share. Think about it. As we get older, our physical bodies naturally start to slow down and deteriorate. But those internal desires, the innate craving for a long life and that intense burning love for wealth, those actually grow stronger. They get younger. Honestly, very few things in this world have the raw power to manipulate, influence, or completely derail a person's path, quite like money. It's just a universal human weakness. Part 1. The Unchanging Companions, From Destitution to Empires.
Okay, picture this contrast. The early companions of the Prophet experienced a shift that is honestly hard for us to even wrap our heads around. Initially, they were surviving entire months on literally nothing but dates and water. Not a single fire was kindled in their homes for cooking. Some of them actually tied rocks to their stomachs just to suppress the intense physical agony of starving. And then, incredibly, they conquer Al-Madain, the capital of the mighty Persian Empire. Suddenly, these same people are walking through sprawling palaces. They're staring at the emperor's crown, which had to be suspended by chains from the ceiling because it was literally too heavy with rubies and solid gold to wear on a human head. There's even this wild historical anecdote where they stumbled across huge stockpiles of pure white camphor in the palaces. Having never seen luxury like that before, they actually mistook it for salt and tried mixing it right into their bread dough.
So how do you even react to that? How did these legendary figures handle the wealth of literal empires falling into their laps? Well, they remained entirely uncorrupted. It's amazing. Take Umar. The man is ruling an empire stretching to the four corners of the globe, and where do they find him? Sleeping on the dirt floor of the mosque, wearing a shirt stitched together with random patches. Then you have Abdul Rahman. He became phenomenally wealthy, but he actually broke down weeping when someone brought him a plate of luxurious food. He was terrified that his heavenly rewards were being rushed to him in this life, while his closest friends had passed away in total poverty. And then there's Aisha. She received a massive, absolute fortune of a gift, 100,000 dirhams. And what did she do? She gave every single coin away to charity before the sun went down. Her servant actually had to pull her aside and say, "Hey, you're fasting today and you didn't even save a single coin to buy your own dinner." These people ruled as global governors, but they lived their everyday lives as humble servants. And here is where the rubber meets the road for us today. The early Muslims were handed the legendary treasures, the crowns, the endless gold of the Persian Empire, and it didn't change their character one single bit. Yet today, as the source points out, all it takes is landing a nice 5-digit monthly salary right out of university to completely derail our spiritual focus, right? We get a little bit of comfort, a modest paycheck, and suddenly our activism fades out, our presence in the community just vanishes, and our entire character shifts. Entire empires can corrupt them, but a simple modern salary, that can corrupt us.
Part 2. Wealth in the hand, the true meaning of asceticism.
So what's the secret here? What's the core solution? It comes down to this misunderstood concept called zuhd, or asceticism. A lot of people think asceticism means you have to be broke, but it's not about possessing nothing. Rather, true asceticism is ensuring that absolutely nothing possesses you. The source explains this so beautifully. Having wealth isn't the problem at all. The problem starts when that wealth moves from your hand and takes a permanent residence in your heart. The companions were wealthy, sure, but that wealth was in their hands. It was beneath their feet. It wasn't occupying the space in their hearts reserved for their creator. So if you want to use worldly prosperity as a ladder to paradise, rather than a heavy anchor dragging you down, the source lays out these 4 strict conditions. It's like a blueprint. Step 1, the money has to be earned lawfully and ethically from the halal. Step 2, it has to be spent lawfully. Step 3, the obligatory yearly charity, the zakat, must be given willingly and without any delay. And step 4, this is the ultimate filter right here. You do not allow the wealth to control you. You do not let a bigger bank account change the righteous, grounded, active person you were before you had it.
Part 3. The Purpose of Pain, Navigating the Second Test.
All right, let's pivot for a second. If wealth is a test of abundance, we obviously also have to face the unavoidable test of scarcity. I really want you to reflect on this. If pleasure and comfort are meant to test our gratitude and humility, what on earth is the spiritual purpose behind our pain? When we lose someone we love, when our health suddenly fails, when we feel totally isolated or abandoned, why do bad things happen, especially to genuinely good people? What is the actual architecture behind our suffering?
Well, the source delivers this incredibly hard-hitting but honestly liberating truth. This place is designed to break your heart. Think about the word itself, the worldly life, the dunya. It literally translates to the lowest place. It was never, ever meant to be a flawless paradise. If you're looking for absolute, permanent, uninterrupted happiness here, you are simply looking in the wrong place. And you know what? Understanding that fundamental design flaw of the world is the very first step to finding real peace. It totally recalibrates our expectations of life.
This means we have to completely reframe how we view our own struggles. When pain, depression, stress, or massive loss hit us, our knee-jerk reaction, especially nowadays, is to just isolate ourselves, right? We lock the door, we pull the covers up, thinking nobody understands. But the Source frames this suffering not as some kind of angry divine punishment, but as a vital spiritual wake-up call. It's this profound, deeply personal invitation from the Creator essentially saying, come back to your Lord. When times are good, we easily get distracted. Pain is the mechanism that shatters that destruction and cures our spiritual isolation. In fact, every single calamity you face contains 3 hidden blessings, if you just know how to look for them. Number 1, no matter how bad it gets, logically it could always be worse. Number 2, the tribulation is hitting your worldly matters, maybe your job, your finances, your physical health, but it hasn't corrupted your deen, your faith, which is your eternal compass. And number 3, these struggles are serving as an active purification right here in this world, cleansing you, so you are spared from much worse hardship in the next. The Source urges us, don't stress over tragedies that haven't even happened yet. Recognize the absolute mercy hidden right inside the struggle.
Part 4. The power of sincerity, the actions of the heart.
So what is the ultimate spiritual anchor you need to survive both of these extremes, the crazy highs of wealth and the crushing lows of pain? Historical texts tell us that Abu Bakr, the absolute closest companion to the Prophet, wasn't necessarily the guy who prayed the most physical extra prayers or fought the most battles compared to everyone else. Yet his faith was considered heavier than the entire rest of the community combined. Why? Because true spiritual elevation comes from what scholars call the actions of the heart. These are things completely invisible to the outside world. We're talking deep reverence, hidden awe, absolute raw sincerity. Anyone can fast or drop a massive check in a charity box publicly, but the engine driving that action, that is hidden away in the chest. Let me tell you a story to show you exactly what this pure sincerity looks like in action. This is one of the most legendary historical accounts from our source. The brilliant commander Moslema and his army had been besieging this massive Byzantine fortress for a grueling 18 months. Zero success. Morale is absolutely on the floor. The only possible way in was through this dark, unknown, highly dangerous sewer tunnel. When the commander asks for a volunteer to go in, crickets. Nobody steps forward. Finally, a single masked soldier slowly raises his hand. He crawls through this terrifying tunnel, facing who knows what in the dark, fights the guards on the other side all by himself, throws open the heavy gates, and literally secures the victory for the entire army. After they win, the commander is desperately calling out to the ranks, begging for the man of the tunnel to step forward and reveal himself so he can be properly honored. Nothing. Silence. Finally, late at night, a masked man slips into the commander's tent. He says, "Listen, I have a message from the man of the tunnel. He will reveal his identity to you, but only if you swear to 3 strict conditions. Number 1, you do not praise him in front of the other soldiers. Number 2, you do not send a letter of recommendation to the ruler to elevate his rank. And number 3, you will never, ever treat him any differently than you treat the most average foot soldier." The commander is just stunned. He agrees to the conditions. The soldier reaches up, pulls down his mask for literally 2 seconds just to show his face, and then instantly snaps it back into place and disappears straight back into the sea of soldiers. He wanted zero earthly reward. No fame, no VIP treatment, absolutely no recognition. He just wanted his deed to remain entirely between him and his creator. The commander, Moslema, was so profoundly moved by this absolute raw purity of intention that for the rest of his life, he would weep and make this one prayer: "O Allah, gather me in the afterlife with the man of the tunnel." Now take the man of the tunnel and contrast him with how we live today.
The source nails this modern irony perfectly. We live in the era of social media, right? Where a good deed almost doesn't even feel real to us unless we've broadcasted it to our followers. We post about our charity work, our activism, our daily struggles, our big successes. We end up totally exposing our actions to the world while completely hiding and eroding our inner purity. Our egos trick us. We end up doing these amazing deeds merely for the external validation, the likes, the comments, turning what could have been a deeply spiritually elevating act into something completely hollow.
And that leaves us with this final, incredibly provocative thought to chew on. Whether you are navigating the dizzying heights of prosperity or falling through the dark tunnels of your own daily hardships, whether you're donating a literal fortune or just quietly holding it together for a tough day, in everything you do, who is the true audience of your actions? Are you performing for the applause of the crowd, or are you acting solely for the one who sees what is hidden deep in the heart? Think on that for a bit, and we'll see you in the next explainer.